Spotify is now going to allow people to play snippets, okay? Let me see. Here we go. Am I tripping? Spotify snippets. Okay, here we go. So Billboard released an article saying Universal Music Group, and damn, they hate my ad blocker like crazy. Okay, so it says Universal Music Group's artists gain the ability to tease unreleased music on Spotify. I'm gonna tell you why this is important. You see, the majority of people following these guys on social media don't listen to their music. Like, there's a lot of fans that only follow these people on Spotify or only follow them for music on Spotify. A lot of times when people get followed on Instagram, people want to see your cars, your chains. People want to see you flex. Like, Instagram is like a highlight reel of like a lot of bullshit, right? Of what's going on in your life, what you have, and what you're doing. And sometimes you got to wonder, like, hey, how this guy got 5 million followers, but he can't sell over 20,000 records? Now, the problem with the music industry here is, you know, they've have to rely on social media platforms to promote music, and the music platforms that have all the data for the listeners of their music, they can't directly promote to, right? They're using TikTok. Yeah, TikTok does have music and music component, but that's not where the streams really come from or get really counted on a major level. They come from Apple Music and Spotify. These guys get these reports. Hey, listen, you've had 14 million listeners this month. 14 million people listen to your music this month on 14 million different people. That's what monthly listeners mean. Different people, not 14 million streams. It's probably way more streams than that, but at least 14 million different people listen to your song, right? Or was exposed to your song. Well, if I got a new song, or if I'm teasing another song, right? Or maybe a remix of a song that they like, you know who I want to like promote it to? I want to promote it to the people who listen to my music, not the people who want to watch my car, who I'm dating, who I'm like people on Instagram watch very ancillary shit that you got going on. One thing I've seen Spotify do, which I actually did like, they allow the artists to kind of promote their tours to their top fans. Like, you can actually collaborate with Spotify. They can promote your shows and send early links to your top fans to purchase tickets, which probably definitely helps. If you've been listening to somebody's music a lot, you're one of the top listeners. Of course, if a tour comes to your town with that artist, you're probably more likely to buy a ticket, right? Now they're doing something else. They're saying, but it's only for UMG right now. They've done an agreement. UMG artists are gaining the ability to tease unreleased music on Spotify. The forthcoming features will put more power in the hands of artists and their teams, according to Spotify CEO Daniel Ek. Universal Music Group announced on Thursday that its artists will soon have the ability to pretty much put snippets on Spotify. Sharing snippets of unreleased songs on social media has been one of the most popular promotional methods for artists during the TikTok era. In many instances, artists haven't even finished writing the song that they tease, but fan enthusiasm could make these scraps of music go viral anyway, especially on TikTok, sending artists scrambling to write another verse, record a full song, and release it as soon as possible, hoping to a rapturous reception. Universal Music Group announcement is notable because it comes as the company's standoff with TikTok nears the end of the second month. Now, again, this is also super strategic. I hope you're keeping up. So Universal Music Group pulled his music from TikTok. So I think currently you could have a Drake song on there, but you can't pick it from their library of music anymore, right? So I think it would just be as like an unnamed sound, and even then you're running the risk of copyright because they don't have a license to have Universal Music Group licensed content in terms of music on TikTok anymore. Now, what is TikTok used for a lot? TikTok's used for snippets. People will do some dumbass little dance or whatever. Yo, this is a song that's popping out soon. And yeah, it's actually been pretty effective because sometimes, raise your hand or let's just do a number vote. One in the chat if you've been on TikTok. I don't really be on TikTok a lot because there's a lot of time wasting. But still, if you are on TikTok, one in the chat if you've been on TikTok, scrolling, whatever, and you fell in love with a sound and that's how you got introduced to the full song. Then you found the full song off platform on YouTube or something like that. And then you're like, oh, okay, I like the song, right? But you kept hearing the same thing over and over in 15 TikToks, everybody doing some dumbass challenge or some shit, right? Again, It's snippets, right? Even if it's the song is either out or not out, it's a snippet. Now, Universal Music Group, they're leveraging, and by the way, I'm wondering how much those in meetings or those like roundtable meetings with like Lucian and all those guys at the top, they're thinking, hey, first of all, there's a upcoming vote anyway on TikTok, right? So there's an upcoming House of Representatives, I believe, vote on TikTok ban, right? So the House passes it, but the Senate has to do it. Let me see. When is the Senate vote for TikTok? Let's just actually. When is the Senate vote for TikTok? Let's see if we can find it. It said the Senate path is unclear. It must go to the Senate. Okay. We don't know when that's gonna happen, but apparently move through the House really quickly. Anyway, here's the whole point. They're not trying to ban TikTok in terms of the United States. They're trying to say that TikTok is owned by this company called ByteDance. It's a Chinese company, and all Chinese companies that are based on Chinese soil, they work with the CCP, which is the communist power of China, that they share information of the people that these apps use, right? Like, now this is something that's operating in the United States, and for the information of the people in the United States to be possibly shared with someone who's not necessarily an ally, who could also be at some point an adversary, and is an adversary in a lot of business sectors as well, is seen as not only an invasion of privacy for American people, but it just seems like, yo, why the fuck would you have the ops like having a hidden camera in your crib? Like, that's kind of crazy. So they want the company to sell. So they're not banning TikTok. They just want the company to sell. Niggas, sell to some American company, and then we don't care what you do. Y'all can do y'all dance all you want. 1, 2, 3 Macarena. Do whatever you want to do. We don't care. But sell to an American company. I'm actually with that, right? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I like to, I was born in Jamaica. I live in America now. I'm always the country I'm in first. Okay. Again, y'all could be all on this we love the world shit, but trust me, they don't give two fucks about you, okay? Respect to what's going on out there in Israel and Palestine, but I'm America first. I ain't gonna hold you, okay? When you ask me about what's going on with them, I'm gonna talk about first what's going on with us. You ask me about what's going on in China and Russia and Ukraine, I ain't say I don't got no sympathy, but man, I care about what's going on with us. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So when I hear TikTok ran by them motherfuckers over there, I'm like, I ain't with it. I'm sorry to tell y'all. I wanted to be ran by motherfuckers over here. I'm America first. I'm sorry to tell you. Okay. So I'm with that. I obviously don't want the app to be banned. Shit, I make money on the app. Like, it's part of our business strategy at this point. But, I completely get it. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the universal music component of it. I could imagine they're weighing that TikTok might get suspended at a point. But even then, they have suspended their music from being on TikTok because TikTok wasn't down to pay some extra bread. Cool. Now I guess they're using their way of trying to leverage to make TikTok realize, nigga, you realize why you need to pay us extra bread? Because we could have any company do snippets. And you know which company we about to do it with now? Spotify. So Spotify, who already has all the data for, music consumers, we're going to allow Universal Music Group artists to drop a snippet on their profile. You probably get a little splash screen, like a little story or something like that people could listen to a snippet of their favorite artists, and we'll see what happens. So I actually think it's a smart idea. I think other companies will adopt. It says teasing songs on Spotify represents a potential alternative for these acts. We're excited to broaden our relationship with Spotify through the introduction of new content offerings and collaborations that will bring deeper social music experiences to the platform, Lucian Grange says. Okay? We'll see. They ain't say when it's going to start, but whenever it's going to start, I could tell that shit is going to go crazy. Okay. Just a little bit of music insider news that you guys should be aware of if you care about how the business is going, the ebbs and flows. Okay, here we go. All right.